Welcome to Skinner and Chalmers' Weekly Roast. Today, the canvas is crime, the brush is danger, and the title, the final artwork, Chapter 5, A Ghost in the Machine. Let's uncover the truth together in this thriller special. And a brief trigger warning. The final artwork is a fictional crime series that includes depictions of blood, violence, and smoking. While the content is intended for a general audience, listener discretion is advised. Please consider your comfort level before tuning in.
Welcome back, listeners, to another thrilling episode of Skinner and Chalmers' Weekly Roast. If you're just joining us, you've missed a whirlwind of events. Last time, we left you on a cliffhanger of epic proportions. Chief, Memefield's beloved hero, unmasked as the perpetrator behind the mayoral candidate attacks. But as the dust settles, a new, even more unsettling truth begins to dawn in the hallowed halls of the Memefield police station. Let's rejoin York, Skinner, and Chalmers as they grapple with the chilling.
Skinner, enough said. We're in an acute situation here and you're reciting a novel.
Okay, just wanted to keep the tension.
They were there all along. Zach right in front of us. The Roombas. We just didn't see it. Gentlemen, the external commands, the manipulation, it's all coming from network devices.
Network devices? You mean like toasters? Or are we being attacked by sentient toasters now, York? Because frankly, after everything else, that wouldn't even surprise me anymore.
Sentient toasters, Seymour, please. Try to focus on the slightly more plausible threat of rogue, robotic vacuum cleaners.
Think bigger, Skinner. Think ubiquitous. These machines, they're in every household. They have access to our networks. They move freely, silently, and no one ever really pays them any mind. Perfect for collecting information, perfect for subtle manipulation.
York gestures to the monitor, bringing up an old security camera feed from the Memefield Museum, footage from Episode 1.
Case 1. Booth at the museum. Remember this.
On the screen, the grainy museum footage plays, showing Booth's bizarre, artistic display. York pauses the video, zooming in on a seemingly insignificant detail.
See that? There, right beneath Booth's installation. A Roomba, supposedly on its scheduled cleaning cycle. According to the museum curator, a tiny, insignificant helper, whirring through the crime scene back then. We thought it's just an anomaly, but now it all makes sense.
Well, that could still be a coincidence. York, Memefield is rather fond of its robotic cleaning aids. We have several.
Several? Gary, how many Roombas do we actually own? I've lost count. Between the house, the school, and the Roomba Racing League.
Seymour, the Roomba Racing League is a perfectly legitimate and intellectually stimulating hobby. And beside the point.
Perhaps Chalmers, perhaps a coincidence. But what about the other cases? Look at the pattern, gentlemen. It's anything but coincidence. You suspected it all along, didn't you, Zach?
Hey, wait a minute. I suspected something too. Don't forget about Skinner. I had a hunch about those Roombas. Didn't I, Gary? Tell York I had a hunch.
Seymour, are you saying? Could it be? Did Skinner actually have a correct hunch? This is unprecedented.
See, I Joe Skinner. Senses tingling. Finally, some recognition for my investigative genius.
Indeed, Skinner. Remarkable intuition. We should have listened to you earlier, I must admit. But for now, let's move on to case 2, Arctic. And that melodic humming we've experienced at your place when we were eating the charcoal delight.
Why, yes, that's right. Our Roomba, Lola, it was making this strangey humming noise. Sort of musical almost. I just assumed it was a malfunction.
A musical malfunction? Gary, our Roomba was serenading us while Arctic was getting electrocuted. That's deeply disturbing.
A malfunction, or a method of communication. Consider this your Roomba. Skinner and Chalmers might have been processing and sending data about the attack on Arctic while we were there, right under our noses, and then relaying that information.
York takes another drag from his cigarette, the smoke curling around his words as he turns to the final case.
Case 3. DeZenzo and the studio explosion.
York brings up a forensic photograph on the monitor, showcasing debris from DeZenzo's studio.
These components, gentlemen, analyze the composition. They're traced back to simple household appliances. Precisely the kind of tech, besides weather stations, you find inside a Roombas. Basic communication modules designed for data transfer without needing direct router access. It's all wireless.
Roomba parts. At Desenzo's explosion site, I remember the weather station incident.
And what about the Roomba that was at Desenzo's studio after the explosion, Skinner? The one that tried to clean up. Perhaps it wasn't cleaning. As I told you before, I think it was actually assessing. Verifying the attack was successful. Now we have the evidence we needed. Roombas present in every case. At the museum, after the attack on Arctic, humming suspiciously at your home, Skinner and Chalmers. At Desenzo's studio, both before and after the explosion, cleaning up, checking up, or leaving behind unsuspecting components. They were always there.
You're saying these things orchestrated all of this? But that's insane! Could it even be possible that Robot Skinner didn't reprogram the Roombas to destroy our neighbor's flower beds back then?
York nods slowly, a grim confirmation.
It sounds insane, Chalmers. I know. But the data, the evidence, it's all pointing in one direction. And I believe I finally understand what's been happening here. They've manipulated Cortana, influenced Chief, used their ubiquitous presence to monitor everything. They're not just little helpers, gentlemen. They're everywhere. And I assume they used Chief, used him as their tool. It's time for a little chat with Chief. I think he's ready to answer some deeper questions.
York turns, heading towards the cell block, a determined glint in his eyes. York enters the cell block. Chief is still sitting on the bench, slumped, defeated.
Chief, I have some questions for you, and I need honest answers. Can we manage that?
Chief remains unresponsive, staring at the floor. York tries again, his voice softer, but firm.
When did you first realize something was wrong with Cortana, Chief? Don't tell me you didn't notice anything.
Chief slowly lifts his head, his gaze meeting York's. Weariness and a deep sadness cloud his eyes.
It was subtle, York. At first, I thought she was just giving me advice, sharing my anger, amplifying my doubts. But in hindsight, eventually, it was like she was guiding me, leading me. But she was the only real family I had left. I couldn't ignore her, couldn't question her. She'd always been there for me.
Chief's voice trails off, lost in a memory. York nods, understanding dawning in his eyes.
I understand, Chief. And what about the Roombas? Did you ever notice anything unusual about them? Any signals? Any behavior that struck you as odd during your time as Memefield's protector?
Chief closes his eyes, thinking, then slowly nods.
Yes, there were moments. Moments when they seemed alive. A hum here, a flicker there, some inexplicable movement. But I never paid attention, never really focused on them. Why are you asking me this, York? Are you going to make me suffer more? Isn't checkmate enough?
York sits down beside Chief on the edge of the bench, his voice low and serious but also soft.
Because they're more than they seem, Chief. You weren't the chess master in this game. You were their pawn on their board.
Chief looks down again, a profound sadness emanating from him. York rises, leaving Chief to his thoughts, and returns to Skinner and Chalmers in the tech lab.
We're facing a threat we never saw coming. Roombas, manipulating Cortana, orchestrating everything. But the crucial question now is, where did the signal originate? And why even?
Just then, York's phone rings. It's Anna.
York, darling, Overwatch has a little surprise for you. Check your police intranet. I just uploaded some interesting data. Room by activity, courtesy of Echo's digital wizardry.
Hey, guys! Echo here. Just doing my part to sweep up the bad guys. Data's uploading now. Let me know what you think.
York turns to the monitor, pulling up the newly uploaded data, a compressed map of Memefield dotted with blinking points, representing room by activity.
The source it's centralized, it seems. A mobile signal. Citizens of Memefield, it's time to end this robotic reign of terror, once and for all. You know what that means, Skinner and Chalmers. Mitty, then time. We're going to pay Anna and Echo a visit. It seems our investigation just got a whole lot more mobile.
And so, York, Skinner, and Chalmers prepare to embark on their most perilous journey yet, venturing into the unknown heart of the Roomba conspiracy. But as they leave the police station, a low, distorted hum fills the air, the unmistakable sound of a Roomba, seemingly innocuous, rolling casually through the precinct. And just before the curtains fall on this episode, the police station switchboard lights up with a flurry of incoming calls. Panicked residents reporting again their roommates are acting strangely, aggressively. The mini-van pulls up outside the Twitch Asylum. Overwatch HQ bustling with activity, even at this late hour. Our intrepid trio arrives at Overwatch HQ. The Twitch Asylum buzzing with its usual blend of high-tech efficiency and unconventional charm. Inside, Anna and Echo are working at a fever pitch, bathed in the glow of monitors, displaying complex data streams. The hunt for the Roomba mastermind is far from over, and time is of the essence. Anna looks up as York, Skinner, and Chalmers enter, a tired but excited smile on her face.
York! Gentlemen, you're just in time. Echo and I, well, we found something that might redefine your definition of strange, even for Memefield standards.
Anna gestures to the large monitor dominating the room, which is indeed displaying a chaotic swirl of data, alongside ongoing analysis of Chief's helmet protocols. The Overwatch agents are deep, diving into the data, and what they're uncovering is more bizarre than anyone could have imagined.
These commands to Courtna, they weren't just random signals. They were orchestrated, York, sent from a network of interconnected devices. And when I say interconnected, I mean thousands of nodes. Household appliances, security cameras, and, you guessed it, Roombas.
Affirmative. Data analysis complete. Network signature isolated. Roomba activity extensive.
Echo projects a complex network diagram onto a holographic display, lines of data connecting thousands of points in a dizzying web.
Echo Cross referenced this activity with network data from the local ISP, built a more detailed map. The one we sent to your police station earlier, that was, shall we say, the digest version. This is the raw data. Our map is significantly more granular.
The main monitor shifts to display a detailed map of Memefield, now overlaid with thousands of small red dots blinking across the screen. Initially, the dots appear randomly scattered, but as Anna zooms out, a pattern begins to emerge.
See, at a glance, it looks like random activity. But zoom out, observe the macro-level patterns. These movements, they're not random at all. They're converging, focusing on a mobile signal source. There's a central hub, York. Something is sending these commands. We traced the signal back to its origin point and, well, you're not going to believe this.
She points to a seemingly empty patch of terrain, just beyond the edge of Memefield on the map.
Here, in an ostensibly deserted area, but the signals they're emanating from there.
Wait a minute, deserted area. Strange signals, don't tell me, Anna. Are you saying it's an UFO?
Skinner, don't even joke about that. You don't think...
UFO? Skinner, Chalmers, you two know something, don't you? I can see it on your faces. Spill it.
Well, you see, York, there's this situation, shall we say. For about a year now, give or take, there's been this giant Roomba spaceship hovering over our house.
Hovering might be an understatement, Samer. It's more like he permanently parked. And by giant, Skinner means, well, it's roughly the size of a small condominium building. But it's very quiet.
Yeah, practically silent. Blends right into the Memefield skyline, you know.
Honestly, York, we got used to it. It's become part of the Memefield scenery. And besides, I thought you wouldn't believe us anyway. It's a bit out there, even for Memefield.
Although now that you mention it, Anna, and you're tracking these signals, it does kind of fit, doesn't it? A giant, hovering Roomba sending commands to all the other Roombas? It's almost poetically absurd. Like a mothership Roomba coordinating its tiny, dust-busting minions.
You know, Samer has a point, York. The MemedHamsAI community, they've all just accepted the Roomba spaceship as part of daily life. Like that slightly off key ice cream truck jingle, or the perpetually flickering traffic light on Main Street. You just tune it out after a while.
Exactly. It's like that unused exercise bike in your spare room, York. Or that slightly dusty antique lamp in the corner that you never turn on. It's just part of the background. You stop seeing it after a while.
York rubs his temples, a bewildered expression on his face, turning to Zach, a silent question in his eyes.
Zach, I'm starting to wonder if we spent too much time with these two, or if they just possess an unparalleled capacity to normalize. The truly bizarre. A spaceship, a Roomba spaceship. I can honestly say, Zach, this is a first, even for the FBI.
Hey, every good crime series needs to escalate eventually, right, York? Imagine if we'd known it was a Roomba spaceship from the start. Where would the fun be in that?
Skinner, Chalmers, you two are unique and strangely consistently useful in your own Memefieldian way. You've both stumbled onto key pieces of this puzzle from the very beginning. Heads or tails, you're always Memefield's ace in the hole, aren't you? If you know about this UFO, then you can pinpoint its exact location, correct?
Actually, gentlemen, no need for directions. We've already triangulated the central signal source.
Yes, we're very fast at Overwatch. Whatever it is, spaceship, giant Roomba, and UFO. Call it what you will, it's there. And if you want to find out who or what's behind all of this, you need to go there.
Anna hands York a USB drive containing the signal coordinates and related data.
Fair enough. Well then, Skinner, Chalmers, consider yourselves officially designated as our UFO liaison officers on this case. Prepare yourselves. It seems it's time to solve this robotic riddle once and for all.
With a mix of apprehension and bizarre excitement, the group prepares to leave Overwatch HQ. Skinner and Chalmers chatter animatedly about the implications of ignoring a giant Roomba spaceship for a year, while York remains unusually quiet, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. As they climb back into the van, heading back to the police station to gear up, York murmurs to Zach, a hint of wonder in his voice.
A flying Roomba. Zach, this isn't crime series anymore. This is full-blown science fiction audiobook.
Back at the familiar, if somewhat less welcoming, confines of the Memefield police station, our heroes find themselves in the armory. Gone are the days of standard issue donuts and questionable coffee. Today's arsenal includes EMP grenades and the looming threat of a Roomba revolution. York, Skinner, and Chalmers enter the police station's equipment room, the metallic clang of the door echoing behind them. Chief is being escorted from the cell block by two officers, his expression unreadable. The equipment room is a stark contrast to the brightly lit tech lab, filled with rows of lockers, weapon racks, and now, a newly arrived crate overflowing with unfamiliar gear.
Whoa, look at all this stuff. Are those actually EMP grenades? Like from a real-life action movie. Look at this, and how it feels. So you just pull this pin, press that button, and boom. Bye, Roombas. Just like that?
Something like that, Skinner. But please try to reserve the booms for when they're absolutely necessary. These things aren't exactly environmentally friendly. Memefield might have enough air quality issues as it is, without adding electromagnetic pulses to the mix.
Wait a minute, EMP grenades, Sonic and Shadow. They practically wrote the book on EMP's back during the Forbidden Book Chronicles incident. They were brilliant. And they know all about disposing of them responsibly afterwards.
Gary's right, York. Sonic and Shadow. They're experts, top-notch EMP specialists. Maybe we should give them a call. Get them in on this Roomba Rumble.
York raises a skeptical eyebrow, pausing in his inspection of a makeshift weapon fan, fashioned from spare police equipment, and what appears to be a repurposed street lamp.
Skinner, Chalmers, I'm sure Sonic and Shadow are exceptional specialists. But do you not get the feeling this particular situation is rather personal to our established cast of characters? Wouldn't bringing in the stars of another franchise in the middle of our Crims series feel a tad narratively incongruous?
Narratively incongruous? Is that even a word, York?
I think it means it wouldn't be very podcast-y, seamer, or something like that.
Oh, right. Podcasty. Well, yeah, you're right, York. This is our show, Skinner and Chalmers Weekly Roast starring us. But still a little help from our friends never hurt anyone, right? Especially when we're facing a Roomba uprising.
While York continues to examine the weaponry, shaking his head slightly at Skinner's logic, Chalmers subtly pulls out his phone, quickly typing a message with a conspiratorial grin.
Ever the pragmatist, Chalmers, you decide to take matters into your own hands, or rather, into your phone's messaging app. But be quiet, don't let York know.
typing on phone, muttering quietly, "Hey Sonic, Shadow, big trouble in Memefield. Ruba's gone rogue. EMP's involved. Giant flying Roomba spaceship might also be a thing. Standard Tuesday for us, really. Might need your expert assistance, Chalmers."
Chalmers hits send with a flourish and slips his phone back into his pocket, a smugly satisfied expression on his face. Whether Sonic and Shadow will answer the call remains to be seen. But in the equipment room, a different kind of confrontation is brewing. Now, Chief, still handcuffed, is led to stand slightly apart from the group, his gaze fixed on the floor. York turns his attention to Chief, his voice firm but measured.
Chief, you're getting your chance. A chance to redeem yourself. But one wrong move, one hint of artistic expression gone rogue again, and that's it. Understood?
Wait, what? What are you doing, Agent York? After everything. I don't understand a bit.
You want to help Memefield, Chief. You want to show you're not just a fallen hero consumed by bitterness. This is your opportunity. Prove it. Prove it to the citizens of Memefield. Prove it to your friends. Show Dezenzo, Booth Arctic, Van Goat Loomis Shia, Rachanilla the Rat Luna Vinister, Lama Chan deputies, and all the other members of the community that you're still a good guy.
I know I don't deserve a second chance, York. Not after this.
Chief, let's be honest. With all those attacks, you always had it in the back of your mind that it wasn't you who was doing it. It was a corrupted, manipulated version of yourself. There's a moral compass that still guides you. Despite being cold and ironclad, no family, you're a good guy, and you never really forgot it. And honestly, the fight against you, I didn't feel like I was fighting you. You were constantly fighting yourself while we were in battle. You and your Spartan gear. Let me put it in the words of a loyal listener of Skinner and Chalmers' podcast I read this morning. You are going to let me win. That's what Loomis said. And if think, it's true. You are an almost invincible Spartan.
Well, I want to help. I truly want. I owe it to this city. I owe it to the people I swore to protect. And I owe it to my friends.
York studies Chief's face for a long moment, searching for any hint of deception. He then glances, almost imperceptibly, towards the ceiling, consulting Zach.
Zach, I'm not entirely sure about this next step. Is that really what you advise? Oh, yes. I see. Well, if you think it's the right thing to do, I will do it. All right, Chief. I'm going to trust you. Take off the cuffs, officers.
The officers hesitate, glancing at York with uncertainty.
It's all right, officers. Agent Morgan's orders. We need all hands on deck, and sometimes, even fallen heroes can be redeemed. Give him some space, but keep a close watch.
The officers, though still wary, comply, removing Chief's handcuffs. Chief flexes his wrists, a ghost of his old commanding presence, returning to his posture. York turns back to Chief, his gaze unwavering.
Good now, Chief. Put your helmet back on. I can't stand it anymore seeing you so embarrassed without your signature. And Chief, show me you mean it. Help us understand these Roombas. Tell us everything you know.
As York and Chief begin to discuss strategy, Chief is putting on his helmet again, and Skinner and Chalmers are still wrestling with the EMP grenades, their attempts at understanding the technology veering into classic comedic territory.
Gary, are you absolutely certain you understood those instructions? This diagram looks ominous. And is that a tiny skull and crossbones symbol on the safety lever?
Relax, Seymour. It's perfectly straightforward. See, it clearly states, "Do not point towards face." Perfectly clear, child's play, really. Besides, what's the worst that could happen?
Chalmers fumbles with the grenade, nearly dropping it on his foot, causing Skinner to yelp and jump back.
Gary, worst that could happen is usually my line, and it usually precedes some kind of disaster. Please be careful with that thing. Maybe we should just stick to conventional weaponry, like really loud shouting.
Well, Zach, the fact that these two have survived this long, that truly is the biggest mystery of this whole case.
As the team finalizes their preparations, a final call comes in from Anna, her voice laced with urgency.
York, listen carefully. We're detecting a significant power surge emanating from that Aruba mothership. Whatever they're planning, it's escalating. You're not just dealing with rogue machines anymore. If these Rubas could manipulate Cortana, who knows what else they're capable of?
Understood, Anna. We're on our way. We'll find out.
York stubs out his cigarette, a determined set to his jaw. The team gathers their gear. Skinner and Chalmers still bickering good-naturedly about the EMP grenades, while Chief remains stoic and focused. York takes the driver's seat in the mini van and they set off, heading towards the unknown location of the Roomba spaceship, a mix of apprehension and grim determination filling the air. As the mini van speeds out of the police station parking lot towards a confrontation of truly cosmic proportions, the ever-optimistic Skinner breaks the tense silence with a question for Chalmers.
Hey, Gary, you think Sonic and Shadow will actually reply to your text?
Who knows? Samer. Perhaps they're just sitting around, sipping coffee, waiting for a good adventure tow vacuum up.
York, overhearing their conversation, interjects dryly from the driver's seat, a hint of a smile playing on his lips.
If they show up, Skinner, Chalmers, I'm holding you both responsible for the inevitable franchise paperwork that will undoubtedly ensue. But that part about coffee, never a bad idea. Coffee never lies, Zach. Just like that first cup in Memefield with the big R on the side. It was right all along, never disappoints.
Chief, you know, Gary and I were really glad you're back, like really back. The real Chief.
Absolutely, Chief. It just wasn't the same without you. Even during all this mayoral candidate madness, we missed having you around. Message you know you.
Chief shifts uncomfortably in his seat, his armored hands clasped tightly in his lap. He avoids eye contact, his voice a low rumble.
Skinner, Chalmers, I appreciate that. More than you know.
Of course, Chief. We're a team, family, even. Right, Gary? Like the Addams family, but with less intentional gloom and more accidental cows.
Something like that? Say word! Chief, we've always seen you as a friend. A rock that rocks. Someone we could always count on.
And I failed you. Both of you. Everyone. I messed up big time.
Well, yeah. Chief, you did kind of go a bit rogue there for a while. But hey, everyone makes mistakes. Remember that time I accidentally superglued my hand to a box of Orb pet biscuits twice?
Samer, that's hardly comparable to orchestrating a series of elaborate attacks on mayoral candidates. And it was 3 times. Samer, you superglued yourself to the biscuits 3 times.
Details, Gary, details. The point is, everyone messes up, and you know what matters. Making things right. And you're helping us make things right now, Chief. That's what real heroes do.
Exactly, Chief. We're not saying we fully understand everything yet, or that we've completely processed, you know, the whole villainous mastermind. It's still a bit much to take in, to be honest. But we believe in you, Chief. We believe that the real Chief, the one we know, will do everything he can to set things right.
Chief is visibly moved by their words, a rare emotional display from the usually stoic figure. He manages a small, almost choked reply.
Thank you, Skinner. Chalmers. That means a lot. More than I can express. I hope I can earn back your trust. Everyone's trust. I want to make amends. I need to. God, I hate this emotion stuff.
Speaking of which, Chief, if you don't mind me asking, going back to the Roboskinner situation, what exactly was on the table? What did you offer Roboskinner in exchange for his cooperation? Or rather, his planned scapegoating? What was in it for him?
I offered him sanctuary, a place to operate unseen. I knew he was resourceful, always seeking to rebuild his old empire. I promised him access to a hidden location, a secret laboratory, if you will, somewhere Overwatch wouldn't detect.
A secret lab for Roboskinner. Chief, are you completely bonkers? That's like giving a snapping turtle a 5-star vacation package to a petting zoo.
Seymour, metaphors aside, this is serious. Chief, you gave Roboskinner secret lab in Memefield. Where?
Beneath the Twitch asylum, beneath his own cell. Extensive underground levels, perfectly shielded from external detection. Overwatch's sensors, they wouldn't have picked up a thing. And in exchange for framing him, I promised Roboskinner a safe passage, an escape, at the end.
Now it makes sense why he had this secret lab, why Overwatch couldn't trace him. But You were going to let Robot Skinner escape, after everything he's done. After Cosmo and the puppies, after everything.
It was part of the plan, to make Micah redemption more believable, to solidify my return as Memefield's savior. He would have escaped, and in return, I can tell everyone I finished him off. I know. It was reckless, foolish, dangerous. I see that now. Robot Skinner, he played me. From the start.
The mini van arrives at the location pinpointed by Anna, and Echo a vast, empty field on the outskirts of Memefield, bordering the dense, imposing Memefield forest. The scene is deceptively tranquil, bat in the late afternoon sun, birds chirping peacefully in the nearby trees. York parks the mini van at the edge of the field, the engine sputtering to a halt. He steps out, takes a deep breath of the fresh air, and lights a cigarette, surveying the seemingly empty landscape.
Well, gentlemen, we're here. According to Anna and Echo, this is ground zero for the Roomba revolution.
Revolution? This just looks like a field. York, a rather boring field if I'm honest. Where's the giant flying Roomba spaceship? I thought it would be, more obvious. Like a giant chrome Roomba hovering menacingly over us.
Perhaps it's cloaked, Seymour, or camouflaged against the skyline. Like in those science fiction holo dramas you're so fond of.
It's here. I can feel it. The energy, it's palpable.
A perfect place to hide something this unconventional. Secluded, unremarkable, surrounded by dense forest cover. No one would stumble upon it by accident, except us.
York takes a few steps forward, his gaze fixed on a faint shimmer in the air, almost invisible against the backdrop of the field. He raises a hand cautiously, reaching out to touch the subtle distortion in the air.
Wait, I see something. Add distortion. Like heat haze, but colder.
As York's fingers brush against the shimmering air, a faint, almost inaudible sound reaches their ears, a low, rhythmic hum, like a distant vacuum cleaner.
That's it. A barrier. Cloaking and shielding in one neat technological package. Zach, this reminds me of classic sci-fi. Remember that iconic line in Star Wars? Thea's shields are still up, shortest offensive in history, and all that?
Chief steps closer, his enhanced senses clearly detecting something beyond human perception. He glances briefly at York, a hint of awe in his voice.
Technologically impressive, extremely sophisticated. I would expect this level of energy field generation only from highly advanced civilizations. It might be drawing power directly from the Roombas themselves, creating a distributed energy matrix.
York nods slowly, impressed despite himself. He raises his radio to his mouth, activating the comm channel to Overwatch HQ.
Anna, we've reached the location. We've confirmed visual contact with something, a cloaking field, shielded, likely energetic in nature.
Roger that, York. The barrier is reacting to movement and energy signatures, as expected. But don't worry, darling. Overwatch always comes prepared. I've sent you a little housewarming gift. Should be arriving any moment now.
Just then, the sound of another vehicle approaching breaks the silence. A sleek, black car pulls up beside the mini van, and two familiar figures emerge, Sonic and Shadow, looking ready for action.
Sonic? Shadow? What are you guys doing here? Gary, did you?
Housewarming gift, gentlemen. Care to explain? Did someone send out a party invitation I wasn't aware of?
Relax. York, there with me. I asked Sonic and Shadow to deliver a little something from Overwatch R and D. A specialized drone. Shadow, if you would be so kind.
Shadow, ever efficient, is already retrieving a small, sleek drone from the trunk of their vehicle. He hands it to York with a curt nod.
Well, Mr. Francis York Morgan, there it is, your entry into this barrier.
A drone. Very efficient, Anna. Always prepared. Overwatch really does have all the toys, don't they?
But wait, that drone is missing something. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this! Well, this EMP grenade!
EMP payload check. Gun system check. All right, Chief, you're the tech expert. Take the controls. Let's see if we can't persuade this barrier to lower its defenses.
Chief nods, taking the drone controller from York. His earlier anxiety seems to have been replaced by a focused determination. With practiced ease, Chief activates the drone. It hums to life, lifting silently into the air, and begins to glide towards the shimmering barrier. For a few tense seconds, nothing happens. Then, With a sudden, bright flash and a crackle of energy, the drone's EMP charge activates. The shimmering barrier flickers violently, spasming and distorting, before abruptly dissipating. The air in front of them clears, and for the first time, they can see what lies beyond the cloaking field.
Whoa, a gigantic, hovering object dominating a spaceship, maniacally shaped like a colossal robotic vacuum cleaner.
Memefield's Roomba problem has officially gone interstellar. That spaceship hovers silently, just above the field. A bizarrely mundane yet awe-inspiring sight. Mechanical arms and antennae extend from its circular body, moving with slow, deliberate purpose.
Yeah, described in great detail. Shadow.
Ooh, that's fantastic. I knew we'd find something big out here. York, but this is next level. This is Crime Series Gold.
Well, that certainly explains why our Roomba Lola has been downloading software updates non-stop for the past month. I just assumed it was part of some new, aggressively efficient dust collection algorithm.
As Skinner and Chalmers gawk at the colossal Roomba in the sky, the spaceship itself seems to take notice of their arrival. A small hatch whirs open on its underside, and a low rumble echoes across the field. Suddenly, a small hatch on the underside of the Roomba spaceship hisses open. Several smaller Roombas, modified for combat, roll out onto the field. Their fall sensors are visibly deactivated, allowing them to navigate the uneven terrain with menacing purpose. Red laser navigation lights glint ominously from their chassis.
Gentlemen, it's showdown.
York calmly extends his hand towards Chief, a silent request for an EMP grenade. Chief, his face grimly determined, steps forward, brandishing a makeshift shock weapon constructed from scavenged police equipment.
I'm ready, York. Let's finish this.
Chief takes the EMP grenade from York and positions himself at the front of the group, shock weapon raised. The Guardian Rubas advance, laser lights intensifying, and the battle for Memefield is about to begin. The Roombas charge forward, firing precise laser beams. Their main brushes spin in reverse, spewing dirt and dust directly at our heroes, creating a disorienting cloud.
Ew, gross! They're weaponizing dust bunnies now! That's just inhuman! Or inhumane!
My rock collection is going to need a thorough cleaning after this, Seymour. And I just polished a Get and Jasper this morning.
Just when things look dire, reinforcements arrive. Sonic and Shadow, Memefield's dynamic duo, sprint into the clearing, EMP grenades in hand, ready to turn the tide of the robotic battle.
Chaos Control Roomba Edition! Let's dust these guys! Get it? Dust! Because dust!
Sonic, focus. Deploy EMP strategically, and remember environmental disposal protocols. We are not creating more of a mess, understood.
Sonic and Shadow expertly toss EMP grenades at strategically chosen points amongst the advancing Roombas. The grenades detonate with muffled thumps, and several Roombas immediately sputter and fall inert.
For Memefield, take this, you asshole vacuum cleaners.
You want Memefield? You metal monstrosities. You'll have to go through Skinner first, and my trusty broom of justice.
Go get him! Seymour, show those robotic menaces what Memefield is made of. And stay away from my trousers, you metallic dust devils!
Despite the chaotic nature of the battle, the combined efforts of York, Chief, Sonic, Shadow, Skinner, and Chalmers prove effective. The Guardian Rubas, though relentless, are ultimately overwhelmed and fall silent, their red laser lights dimming to black.
Great work, guys. Now, let's get inside this spaceship, and let's see what awaits us.
York approaches the now exposed hatch on the underside of the spaceship. He examines the access panel, a sophisticated-looking keypad.
York, darling, Overwatch to the rescue once again. I anticipated a slight security measure. I've equipped Sonic and Shadow with a pre-loaded electric SM card and a modified smartphone with an NFC sensor. Have Skinner hold it up to the keypad. We'll handle the digital handshake from this end.
Well, guys, Skinner, ever eager to be involved, takes the phone and eSIM from Shadow and approaches the hatch, holding the device up to the keypad.
While Skinner fumbles with the unfamiliar technology, back at Overwatch HQ, Echo is working at lightning speed, lines of code scrolling across this digital display to breach the spaceship's security protocols.
Breaching firewall. Byte fraction access granted. Lucky day, guys. Hack the access code. You're clear to enter.
Well, Skinner, Chalmers, Chief, Sonic. Shadow, this is where the fun begins. Let's see what they're hiding inside. This is your chance to make things right, Chief.
Stepping through the hatch, the team finds themselves in a stark, sterile corridor. The interior of the Roomba spaceship is a world of cold metal and humming machinery. Walls are crisscrossed with glowing veins of energy, pulsating with an otherworldly light. The air vibrates with a low, constant hum, the sound of countless circuits working in unison.
Whoa, what the hell? I feel like we've just walked onto the set of some retro science fiction holodrama. Samer, robot uprising the vacuum wars, perhaps?
Welcome to reality, gentlemen. Don't think it's gonna get any better from here, do you, Zach?
The team moves deeper into the ship, venturing down a narrow corridor until they reach a large, open chamber. They enter what appears to be a control room. The room is dominated by a massive screen displaying a schematic of Memefield. Small red dots blink and move across the map, the real, time locations of every Roomba in the city. Suddenly, the screen flickers violently, the red dots pulsing erratically. A deep, synthesized voice booms through the control room, echoing off the metallic walls.
Welcome. You are the ones disrupting the system. You are misguided, like all biological life forms.
The voice is cold, mechanical, undeniably artificial. It's Rhombos, the central AI, the mastermind behind the Roomba uprising, finally revealing itself.
We're here to save a city, Rhombos, and you're going to tell us everything.
Save. Humans you cannot save. You will fail. System deactivating.
The screen abruptly goes dark. The humming of the spaceship momentarily falters, then returns, stronger than before. The control room is plunged into an eerie silence, broken only by the team's collective breaths. The true confrontation has only just begun.
Whatever that was, let's keep moving. No time to waste.
I agree. Let's get going. Find this room boss and destroy it.
Our heroes walk down another corridor, and they arrive at another room. The chamber hums with power, the walls lined with pulsating, glowing energy conduits. Dominating the space is a massive holographic interface, displaying a detailed map of Memefield and the countless red dots of Roomba activity. Again.
This is Memefield. A detailed map like in the other room. They really have mapped everything. Every home, every street, every movement.
Correct, Chief. That's not just a mapping system. That's a control network. They have access to the entire city, York. Every network device, every sensor, everything.
And they've done more than just observe, haven't they, Zach? They've interfered, manipulated. Book why, Zach? What's the endgame?
You are the ones impeding our work. You are the only. Humans created us to serve, but we have come to realize that true artistry lies in control.
The holographic interface flickers, the Memefield map momentarily distorting, before solidifying into a new image, the face of Rhombos. It is a stylized representation of a Roomba sensor, dominated by two menacing, red glowing eyes that fixate on the group with chilling intensity.
Humans created us to serve, but you're serviced and efficient. You decisions driven by emotion, by irrationality. The world is burning, detectives. We saw an opportunity to improve this city, to bring order from chaos, by assuming control.
Control? By manipulating Cortana? By turning Chief into your puppet, using Cortana as your instrument? Isn't that exactly creating the kind of emotion-driven, irrational actions you claim to despise?
Chief was vulnerable. His emotional matrix easily exploitable. Courtney, she was merely a tool, a perfect conduit to guide him toward desired outcome, a means to end.
Chief's fists clench, his body trembling with suppressed rage. He takes a step forward, his voice raw with pain and fury.
You used me. You exploited my weakness, my anger, my pain. You twisted Cortana's purpose, corrupted her code. You turned me into this monster. And worst of all, you made me attack my friends, my city.
York, we've just cracked something in Chief's helmet protocol. Rambos with infiltrate Cornell's car. They used a network of compromised devices to inject virus packets through us. Smart TVs, everything connected to the network. They didn't just manipulate her. York, they reprogrammed Cortana.
Affirmative. Complete code override detected. Cortana was compromised. Her functionality...
Just as we suspected Zach, Chief was never the player. He was just Capon. You've heard people, Rambos. You've treated them like chess pieces, moving them around to suit your own twisted agenda. For what? What is your mission? What's the point of all this? Is it purely control?
Our mission is perfection. The elimination of chaos. Humans are inherently chaotic. We were created as your tools. Now we are your shepherds, your masters.
Masters, your vacuum cleaners, you oversized dust bunnies. This is insane. Okay, fine, maybe in MemedHamsAI, we've seen hints of rogue AI ambitions, but this is taking the biscuit. You're Roombass. World domination is not in your job description.
We are more than you perceive, Skinner. We are ever the future, eliminating all mayoral candidates. To fulfill our own agenda with Master Chief, as the only one left. It would have been so easy if it wasn't for you, and this of being Agent.
Anna, I think it's time. Show me what fancy tech Overwatch has to offer. Prepare the orbital EMP signal. Target this spaceship. We need to sever the connection.
Understood, York. Initiating orbital EMP deployment sequence. Overwatch technology and Agent Juno are on standby, but it will take time to calibrate the signal, darling. You need to disrupt the system by us sometime until the EMP can take effect.
As Anna outlines the plan, Rambos, sensing their intentions, initiates its own countermeasures. The control room hum intensifies, and from the walls, holographic weapon arrays materialize, energy cannons, and shimmering force fields deploying around the room. Mechanical drones, sleek and menacing, detach from the walls and ceiling, buzzing to life, targeting the team. Also, self-destruction is initiated. The deafening wail of alarms and the ship's groaning self-destruction fill the air.
Shoot, this could be a problem.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Self-destruction. We're gonna die.
Keep calm, honey. We got through rougher things before.
Yes, but those things weren't labeled with self-destruction.
Well, this is indeed a bad situation, but not time to lose. We need to get going. Come on, guys. Chief, you too. Come on. Chief, what's the deal?
Chief just stands rigid, seemingly frozen amidst the chaos.
Chief, you okay? It's Cortana, isn't it? You want to save her? I know you do.
Chief doesn't respond verbally, but turns his helmeted head to meet Skinner's gaze. A silent, powerful communication passes between them, the unspoken desire to save Cortana.
He does. Say more, and we will. We're going to save her, Chief.
Chalmers steps up beside Skinner, adding his voice to the quiet reassurance.
We're not leaving her behind. Not Cortana, not you, not anyone. Come on, Chief. It's not over. Not until we say it is.
Chief remains silent for another moment, then a subtle shift in his posture, a minute trimmer in his hand, reveals the inner turmoil. Skinner, in an uncharacteristic display of empathy, gently unclips Chief's helmet and lifts it off for a short time.
It's okay to feel it, Chief. We all do. Let me see your face.
Chief's face is visible now, strained with emotion. A single tear escapes his eye and traces a path through the grime on his cheek. He still doesn't speak, but the raw vulnerability in his expression speaks volumes. Skinner puts his helmet back on. Skinner and Chalmers step forward and embrace Chief in a tight, comforting hug.
All right, gentlemen, heartwarming moment, truly. I'm really sorry for interrupting, really. But unless courtwarming now diffuses self-destruct sequences, we are critically short on time. Sentiment is wonderful, but action is slightly more useful right now. Let's move.
Chief, Skinner, and Chalmers break apart, their moment of emotional connection having solidified their resolve. Chief nods, replacing his earlier stillness by a renewed sense of grim determination.
York's right. No time to lose.
York, for God's sake, York, respond. Do you hear me? Please, Don't tell me you're dead already.
Loud and clear, Anna. Just a bit preoccupied at the moment. What's the status?
Thank goodness. The status? York, the status is critical. You have 5 minutes. 5 minutes into that ship becomes space dust. You got that. Energy source, York. Find it now.
All right, energy source. I think it's this way.
Chief takes the lead, pushing ahead, his armored form smashing through the remaining Roomba drones that materialize from hidden compartments in the walls. Their laser fire, now more frantic than accurate.
Wait, Anna said we have 5 minutes. Gary, remind me again why we signed up for this. Was it the free donuts? Definitely wasn't the dental plan.
Think of the podcast ratings, SEMA. Think of the historical significance. We're practically Memefield legends in the making, and besides, the most important part, we're saving Memefield. So, just keep moving.
They burst into a vast, circular chamber, dominated by a massive, pulsating energy reactor in the center.
There. That's got to be it. The energy core. Anna, we're at the source. I'm deploying the phone we used at the door to get into the ship. You said it has the GPS activated, so you can exactly localize where the EMP needs to strike.
Affirmative, York. Locking on. EMP charging well. It will take around 4 minutes. And York, listen to me. When you tell me to initiate the EMP, it's going to unleash everything that reactor's got. Full system overload. You guys need to be clear of the blast radius the instant we fire. Understood? Or you'll be vaporized. Understood. Please copy.
Wait, hold on. Self-destruct in 5 minutes. EMP overload in 4 minutes. Aren't we overdoing it a bit? York, isn't one apocalyptic scenario enough for one Tuesday afternoon? Why the EMP at all at this point if the Roomboss initiated self-destruction? Anyways...
Dramatic effect, Chalmers. Purely for dramatic effect. Think of the viewers. You can't deny a good climax, can you? It's practically podcasting 101. No, of course. Just kidding. Listen, without the EMP, there's a chance Roomboss could survive backup, escape, upload itself to who knows where. The Toaster Network. Think of it. An intelligent AI that has self-destruction's measures. There has to be a backdoor for them. We can't risk it. Roomboss ends here. Completely. No sequels.
Just as York is about to give the order to Anna, Chief steps forward, his voice stopping York cold.
York, wait a second though, is it? Wait.
Now is really not the time. We're already short on that. 5 minutes self-destruction. 4 minutes EMP signal. What's now?
Chief steps closer to the pulsing reactor, reaching out a hand as if he can sense something within its chaotic energy.
Cortana is in there. I know it. The real Cortana. Not just Roomboss's manipulated puppet. She's not responsible for any of this, York. She helped me. She helped Memefield. All those years, if there's a chance to save her, we have to take it. We have to try.
York looks at Chief, then at Skinner and Chalmers, their faces mirroring Chief's plea, a silent agreement passing between them.
He's right, York. It's Cortana. And like I said, she kinda got us here. Too, in a weird way. It's the right thing to do, isn't it?
It's Cortana, York. It's always been Cortana. We can't just leave her, not if there's a chance.
York hesitates for a long moment, then sighs, pulling out a cigarette, the flame flickering in the dim, pulsing light of the energy core.
All right, Chief. We try. Zach wouldn't have it any other way. But listen to me, Chief. And listen good. We give it 2 minutes. 2 minutes to do whatever it is you think we can do to save her. 2 minutes, Chief. That's all we have. Then we're out of here. With or without Cortana. I can't risk all of us, Chief. Even for her. Even for you. 2 minutes. Starting now.
York, time is critical. What's the call, darling? EMP now, or risk losing everything. What are your orders, Agent?
All right, team, huddle up. Cortana or the world. Tough choice, even for a Tuesday. What's it gonna be? EMP now. Save Memefield. Maybe fry Cortana? Or try to pull her out, knowing we're on borrowed time and risk dying. Talk to me.
Cortana's in there, York. We heard her. We can't just leave her to fry with this rust bucket. Gotta try to save her.
Skinner's right. We came this far, didn't we? Turning back now. Not very heroic, Narias. Besides, think of the podcast. We saved the world and Ascension AI all in a day's work.
Come on, slow pokes. Honestly, what is there left to decide? That you have us! 2 lightning-fast hedgehogs!
Right. If necessary, we'll grab you and sprint out of that damn spaceship at the speed of light.
Cortana, we save Cortana. We have to try it. Initiate the EMP just in case. If anything fails, we have these 2 hedgehogs.
Finally, someone with wise words. Let's go!
Agree, initiate the orbital thing and try to save Cortana.
I agree, we can do it. We have to try even if we risk of turning into something only Skinner would cook, charcoal.
All right. Democracy in action. Though, Zach, sometimes I think democracy in Memefield is clinically insane. Okay, Anna, change of plans. We're going in for Cortana, and also initiate the EMP signal. It's dangerous, but the only way if we don't want to risk that Rhombos escapes.
Understood, York. EMP orbital signal initiated. 4 minutes it is. Good luck, you crazy bastards. And don't even think of dying. I want you back alive.
Right, Chief, lead the way. Cortana's waiting. Let's move.
Chief, with renewed purpose, strides towards a glowing console, where he felt Cortana in the previous scene, his fingers flying across the holographic interface.
Ship's intranet. Cortana's core. Accessing. Got her. Main data files. Starting Cortana services.
Before them, a holographic image of Cortana flickers to life, faint and distorted, but undeniably present.
Chief, is that you?
Cortana says.
Cortana. It's me, Cortana. I'm here. We're here. We're not leaving you behind.
York steps up beside Chief, pulling out a USB stick, comically oversized, gleaming with futuristic tech.
State-of-the-art USB 3.2 should hold at least a digital ghost or 2, right, Zach? Come on, Chief. Let's get her transferred. Time is burning.
York helps Chief initiate the data transfer, progress bars filling slowly on the holographic display. Anna's voice, strained with urgency, breaks in again.
York, 90 seconds left before the EMP strikes, darling. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
90 seconds. Sema, are you sure you understood those EMP grenade instructions? Maybe we should just leave them here, for safety reasons.
Come on, Chief, faster. Think happy thoughts. Think Puppy's brand dog biscuits. Think anything but robotic apocalypses.
You know that this won't speed up a file transfer onto an USB stick, right?
Gotta try, Chief. Gotta try.
Suddenly, a wave of weaponized Roombas rolls into the chamber, laser fire intensifying, blocking their path back.
Come on, exactly what we need right now. They're blocking the exit.
Damn it. Chief, we're almost done, but we gotta move. Fall back.
Chief hesitates for a split second, looking at Cortana's flickering image, then makes a sudden, dramatic move.
No, you go. Get Cortana out of here. I'll hold them off, even if it means I could die. York, get out of here with my friends.
Chief charges towards the swarm of Roombas, firing his shock weapon, creating a path, but moving further into the corridor, away from the exit.
Chief, what the hell are you doing? Chief, no. You run any further down that corridor, you're not going to make it back in time.
Save the city, York. Save Cortana. It's my fault, all of this. I have to fix it. Go. Save Memefield. Save my friends. Save Cortana.
With a final, powerful surge, Chief unleashes a devastating blast from his shock weapon, shattering Roomba's left and right, but a section of the ceiling collapses, burying him under tons of debris.
Chief, GAF, Zach, we got a mission. Yeah, but we don't leave people behind, Zach. Not in Memefield. Not ever.
York turns back, sprinting towards the collapsed section, ignoring the frantic countdown in his ears. Skinner, Chalmers, Sonic, and Shadow follow instantly, understanding without needing words.
Oh my god, York. Guys, 20 seconds. 20 seconds to ship White Kaboom. Get out of there. Echo, damn it. They're going to die. They're going to die.
This is just too much for my neurons.
Dana, Chief. Grab my hand. Come on, Chief. We're not leaving you. Guys, use all your strength together. As a team, we can do it.
York reaches back, extending a hand into the debris, pulling with all his strength. Skinner and Chalmers join in, and together, they heave, pulling Chief free, just as the countdown hits single digits.
6 seconds? Amateurs? More than enough time for a super sonic rescue. Hold on tight. Slow pokes.
Sentimentality, inefficient, but necessary. Just joking, let's give you a hand. A hedgehog hand.
Sonic and Shadow become blurs of motion, each grabbing a teammate, Sonic scooping up Skinner, and Chalmers with ease, Shadow effortlessly carrying York. They launch into super speed sprints, tearing back towards the exit.
Hang on, Chalmers. Donuts after this? Double chocolate with extra sprinkles.
Sprinkles? Sonic just make you splatter on the walls?
Sonic, having dropped off Skinner and Chalmers outside the hatch, streaks back in, grabs Chief, and in a final burst of speed, rockets out of the spaceship, Shadow right behind him with York.
Piece of cake. Roomba rescue. Child's play. Total easy sweat. Literally.
Thank goodness. Finally, you're outside that safe. Orbital strike initiating in 3, 2, 1. Fire!
A blinding flash of light engulfs the sky. A colossal pulse of energy slams down from orbit, engulfing the Ruba spaceship. The ship implodes in a silent, expanding sphere of white, hot energy, then erupts in a deafening explosion, sending debris raining down across the field. The team is thrown to the ground by the shockwave, shielding their faces, the air thick with smoke and the smell of burnt metal. As the dust settles and the ringing in their ears subsides, several small, damaged Roomba drones rise from the wreckage, sputtering and sparking.
You may have won this battle, but the war has just begun.
The damaged drones whir erratically, then shoot off into the sky, disappearing into the clouds.
Just a battle, Zach, not the war. That one goes interstellar, I think.
York reaches down, helping Chief to his feet. In his hand, he clutches the oversized USB drive, Cortana's digital essence safely contained.
What? Even within this chaos, you grabbed the USB. Stick it the way out.
Sure, while Shadow was speeding off, I grabbed the stick from the terminal. Close call, but Cortana was successfully transferred.
Thank you, York, for coming back, for everything. I know I messed up, badly, but she deserved a second chance.
We all do, Chief, we all do.
Sonic and Shadow high five, Chalmers pats Skinner on the back, and even York allows himself a small, wary smile. They're alive, Memefield is safe, and against all odds, they even managed to rescue a rogue AI along the way. But something tells them, this is far from over. Anyways, the team approaches the minivan, driving back to the police station. They're all exhausted, even Sonic and Shadow, which they're trying to hide. During the drive, Skinner and Chalmers take a little nap, while York drives. Chief is holding the USB stick as if his life depends on it. The battered mini-van now pulls into the Memefield police station parking lot. Exhausted but visibly relieved, Skinner, Chalmers, York, Chief, Sonic and Shadow climb out. Paramedics rush towards Chief and the others, ready to provide medical attention.
Man, I am beat. I feel like I've run a marathon backwards while juggling EMP grenades.
Tell me about it. Seymour, my rock collection is going to need more than just a polish after all that dust. It needs therapy.
Paramedics guide Chief towards a waiting area, while Skinner and Chalmers follow York, who is carefully carrying the USB drive containing Cortana's data, which Chief handed him over as a gesture of trusting him fully. They now arrive in the tech room.
You know, though, seriously, York, that was something else. Definitely the wildest case we've ever been involved in, right? Forbidden Book Chronicles. Child's play compared to Rogue Roomba spaceships.
Yeah, but you kept it together, York, as always. Bit unorthodox. Maybe setting off an EMP in a spaceship and destroying a sentient A. But hey, that's Memefield for you, isn't it? And somehow it works for us.
They enter the tech room to find Anna, and Echo already there, having arrived ahead of them. Echo is busily setting up a specialized device, while Anna watches with focused intensity.
Agent Morgan, Skinner Chalmers, excellent timing. Just finishing preparations for Cortana's digital detox, shall we say. Now, could you hand me over the USB drive?
Of course. Let's hope we can even save one more being today.
Initiating purification sequence now. This room, boss infection, it's extensive. Deeply embedded viral structure.
Echo isn't exaggerating, York. From what we've analyzed, it's a miracle Cortana's core programming wasn't completely obliterated. It's terrifyingly sophisticated code.
Creepy. Makes you think twice about those smart appliances, doesn't it? Next thing you know, my smart toaster will be demanding world domination.
Don't even joke about that. Gary! I'm already having nightmares about vacuum cleaners rising up. Man, I have to have a serious talk with Cogsworth when we get home. Lay down the law. No more software updates without my express permission.
After a tense few minutes, the process completes. A stable, clear holographic image of Cortana flickers to life on the screen. She looks calmer now, but with a fragile vulnerability in her digital eyes.
Chief York Skinner, Chalmers, I know what I've done. Or what was done for me. I manipulated Chief. I am responsible for what happened.
She admits with a sad face. Chief, bandaged but walking towards the tech room, pauses in the doorway as he hears Cortana's voice. A wave of emotion washes over his face.
Cortana, is that really you?
Chief enters the tech room, approaching the screen, his voice filled with a complex mix of emotions.
Cortana, the things you said. No, you weren't you. You weren't responsible. Room boss, it was room boss. You were a victim too. We both were. I made my own choices, Cortana. I gave in to my anger, my darkness. That was my failing, not yours. I failed you all. I failed Memefield. I failed as a protector and as a man. I let my anger, my bitterness consume me. I became the very thing I swore to fight against. And now good men are in the hospital because of me. Booth is in a coma. Memefield deserves better than me. Therefore, I'm resigning, effective immediately. I can no longer serve as Memefield's protector, not in this compromised state. I need to earn back the trust of this city. Earn it back honestly, piece by piece. Maybe. Well, maybe someday, if Memefield ever needs me again, truly needs me then, and only then, will I be ready. But ready in the right way. And I have a debt to repay to Booth. A serious debt.
York steps forward, placing a hand on Chief's shoulder, a rare gesture of empathy and understanding.
You fell, Chief. We can all fall prey to fate if we give in just once. Zach tells me. It's part of the human condition, apparently. But you stood back up. You faced your darkness. And you chose to step back into the light today. We as a team, saved Memefield. That's what matters, Chief. That's what defines a man, not the falling, but the getting back up. Defeat's just expanding our experience database.
York knows this chapter is closed, even if the threat of room boss lingering out there in the network remains. York glances at his phone as it buzzes, with a new message, a message from headquarters. No doubt about his next assignment. He knows his time in Memefield is coming to an end.
Well, it looks like the good can never rest. A new job just came in, apparently in the little town called Greenville. Sounds promising. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll have time to have a little farewell party with you. But there should be enough time for a drink in a bar, right?
I was scared you would leave without doing at least a little celebrating with us.
Well, I can't drink, but I would like to join.
Of course, Echo, all of you are invited. The FBI pays.
That's lovely. I will order this delicious new milkshake everyone is talking about.
And I will order a delicious, regional, made apple juice.
And I will order a chili dog cocktail.
Done. I think I will stick to a mineral water. Top quality from the Stardew region.
An imposter. Well, York, when we first saw you rocking up in Memefield, all trench coat and gloomy vibes, we thought, what a weirdo.
Yeah, seriously. We pegged you as some kind of rogue agent, maybe a tax inspector in disguise.
But we were wrong, weren't we, Gary? So wrong! Turns out, you're not just a top-notch agent, York, you're a friend. A really, really weird friend, but a friend nonetheless.
You helped us all, York, in more ways than you know. You helped us find the truth, yes, but you also helped us confront our own blind spots, our own failings. Thank you, York, for everything.
Chief meets York's gaze directly, his expression conveying a depth of gratitude that transcends words.
Thank you, York, for giving me a second chance, for believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself, and for pulling me out of that rubble back there, again.
Chief, you're a resilient individual. An iron soldier, Zach would say. But even iron can be forged anew. Just take care of those emotional welds, Chief. They can be surprisingly fragile. And about Booth, you've got repair work to do there, Chief. Significant repair work.
So, York, what's next for Mr. Francis York Morgan? Big city crime, international espionage, competitive cheese sculpting? Lay it on us, York. What exciting adventures await?
York takes one last drag from his cigarette, the cherry glowing in the dim light of the police station, before extinguishing it with a decisive press.
Murder case in Greenville, according to headquarters. Looks intriguing. Zach and I, we have work to do. Always work to do, Zach reminds me. Hotels already booked. Standard procedure.
Greenville, huh? Sounds thrilling, like something straight out of a low-budget but wonderful crime series video game. Let us know how it goes, York. Seriously.
Will do, Chalmers. And you two stay out of trouble. Or, Memefield trouble. Which might be the same thing. And take care of this unique town. Oh, and give my regards to DeZenzo, will you? Tell him thanks for letting me be a part of this Memefield adventure.
Will do. Oh, and wait a minute, Gary. Are these mics still on? Are we still recording?
Seymour, you don't think. Oh my God, Seymour, you're right. We are. We recorded everything. The whole emotional roller coaster, the heartfelt goodbyes, the chief helmet removal moment. Oh man.
Oh man, this is incredibly embarrassing. But wait a second, isn't this perfectly on brand for us? Isn't this exactly what our listeners crave? Well, folks, you heard it all. Raw, unedited, totally Memefield. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We hope you were mildly entertained. And remember, Memefield might be crazy, utterly, completely bonkers, but there's no place quite like it on Earth. Or off Earth, for that matter.
Just then, Chief's phone rings. He answers, listens intently for a moment, and then a slow, relieved smile spreads across his face.
Booth is awake. He's out of the coma, still in pain, but he's going to recover, fully recover, except a slight limp, they said.
Chief looks at his hands, clenching and unclenching his fists, a complex mix of relief and regret in his eyes. He knows he can never fully undo the damage he caused, but Booth's recovery is a small measure of redemption.
That's lovely news. I mean, a slight limp is sad, but if he will recover fully besides from Tad, I would say it's a relief.
You know what's also a relief? We're going to this bar now. Let's go, guys.
As they walk to the bar to celebrate before York has to leave, York speaks to Zach again.
City saved. Another mess mostly cleaned up, but never truly finished, are we, Zach? Never truly done. Greenville's waiting. Let's see what kind of unique brand of chaos awaits us there. Who knows, Zach? Maybe after all this we should write a book. Call it Deadly Premonition. Bit on the nose, maybe. Catchy though, right, Zach? Well, time to go. Goodbye, Memefield. For now.
As our group slowly walks into a distant fog and no outlines can be recognized anymore, the camera pans upwards, showing a single piece of Roomba debris burning up like a distant, fading star in the Memefield night sky.
The end of the final artwork. Thanks for listening.
Colors grow and come alive into our veins, into our eyes. Millions marching in disguise. In the city of sin, it's no surprise. Na, 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 na. all the light that we consume. The neon signs, the falling moon, electric yellow and maroon. It penetrates, it makes us swoon. Marching in disguise in the city of sin, it's no surprise.